You know, when a show has absolutely different and contrasting stories, yet big stories that will really pave the way for future technology, then this gets me very excited. It should get you very excited too. I'm going to give you an example. First, global announcement launch of the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus and the availability in India at the same time as anywhere else in the world. That's our top story. I already have the phone with me. Just days back it got announced in India and now the phone is with me. Then we'll talk about something very interesting. At this present moment, Android and Apple's iOS dominate. In fact, there really isn't a third option. But should there be? Can there be? Can Huawei actually pull it off with the HarmonyOS? If there's any company in the world that can pull off a third OS, it's got to be Huawei. We'll find out. Can they do it? Then I've got you this, the Mi A3. A lot of people have been asking about this phone, and there's something on the box that has been written out here, a little small little triangle. I'll show you a close-up later that I find very, very interesting. Lots more happening on the show. Let's take a quick look.
The Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus comes to India, a fully packed device that can do it all. But should you spend your money on it? Is it the best Android there is? We tell you. Xiaomi brings the Mi A3 at an aggressive price. This may well be the best Xiaomi phone we have come across this year. So, should you buy it? Find out. Huawei reveals HarmonyOS, but can any OS take on the might of Android? And Motorola launches the Moto One Action, which is all about capturing action videos.
So let's get started with, of course, all the news pouring in from the world of mobiles. And yes, I predicted this. It's already happening. Motorola is back and they are in action.
After Moto One Vision, Motorola has launched the Moto One Action in India, which comes with a dedicated 117-degree ultra-wide-angle lens action camera that is designed to capture detailed videos. The phone also lets users record videos in landscape format while holding it vertically. The Action is priced at 13,999 rupees for the 4GB RAM and 128GB storage variant. Other features include a 6.3-inch Full HD Plus display, 4GB of RAM, a 12-megapixel front camera and a triple rear camera at the back.
Realme has brought the Realme 5 and the Realme 5 Pro with quad rear camera setup to India. The Realme 5 Pro is priced starting 13,999 rupees and the Realme 5 is priced starting 9,999 rupees. The Realme 5 Pro comes with a 48-megapixel main lens along with other lenses, whereas the 5 has a 12-megapixel main lens. The 5 Pro comes with a 6.3-inch Full HD Plus display and the 5 features a 6.5-inch HD Plus display. We will review both the phones next week on Cell Guru.
In my hand right now is the Note 10 Plus. So first and foremost, of course, the box, typical of a Note 10, all black, grey slate black. Blue pen shown out here, which is because the stylus inside is blue. Different color variations of the phone have different colors of styluses. They started this off, I think, last year with the Note 9. Let's open this out. And as you can see, of course, all that you really need with the phone, of course, is the SIM card holder pin, and inside it is a cover. So good, they're already giving you a cover, but it's not one of those, you know, it's not a leather encased cover. It's a cover that will actually give you protection. Then we move on, of course, to the phone itself. Now, before we get to the phone, remember 25-watt charger, and they've given you, remember there is no headphone jack, so they're giving you the headphones that work with this free inside. Now let's move on to the things that I really like about this phone. So first and foremost, of course, we've got one of the 3 color variations. Beautiful color, as you can see. Looks really, really nice. Quad camera, 4 cameras at the back, including the depth vision camera. Out here is where you have the punch hole camera right in the middle. They call it Infinity O display, but of course that's just another way to say punch hole camera. So great selfie camera in the front with the fact that it can do night mode and dark photography. Lots of things about this phone that are fantastic, including, of course, the magic wand, the stylus, the S Pen. So let's go deep into this phone. We have shown you things about this, but now this is a hands-on review. This is no longer about theory, about hearing about it in a press conference, about trying it at a press conference for a few minutes. This is our in-depth review of the Samsung Galaxy Note 10.
If there is one phone that would make you feel like you have the whole world in your hand, it's the Samsung Note 10 Plus. In our time with the Note 10 Plus, we believe that this is the best phone Samsung has ever made. It is well thought out, maintains the legacy of the Note series and skips on the gimmicks the industry is running on. Do note that this Note is expensive. It will cost you 79,999 rupees for the 256GB variant and 89,999 rupees for the 512GB variant. So should you spend your money on it? We say yes, and here is why. The new Note is bigger, wider, yet thinner than the previous Note 9. It sure looks boxier, but maintains the design aesthetics with screen nicely curving into the frame and yes, no bezels. There is Corning Gorilla Glass 6 on both the front and the back. We have the Aura Glow for review and the rainbow effect is just wow. The front camera, however, did get our attention the minute we looked at the phone. The punch hole camera in the middle does look like a spot, which is hard to ignore, but let's get past it, shall we? It's a beautiful looking phone, but we don't like the fact that Samsung did not add the headphone jack in it. Moving on to what Samsung does the best, the display. The Samsung Note 10 Plus has a large 6.8-inch dynamic AMOLED display. The display is bright and beautiful and the colors are vivid. It is an ideal companion to watch videos on the go or even read books. We thoroughly enjoyed it. The in-display fingerprint scanner is sophisticated and works pretty fast. There is of course face unlock on board. The other thing we loved about the Note 10 Plus is of course the S Pen. The magic wand can now do so much more, especially help us create content on the go. It now comes with air gestures that not just allow us to click selfies with the pen, but also change camera modes, flip from rear to front camera, or even zoom in the camera app, all without touching the phone. The other big one is that now we can convert our handwriting into text in few quick steps. Plus the Note support Hindi and many other languages. Also, we loved how the S Pen feels on the Note. Smooth as butter with no lag at all. Coming to optics, this is where Samsung went all out. There are 4 camera lenses at the back which enable us to do so much more. There is a 12-megapixel main lens plus a 16-megapixel ultra-wide lens, a 12-megapixel telephoto lens plus a depth vision camera. The camera results at first did remind us of the S10 series, which by the way is really good. But we like the fact that there is a new dedicated night mode. Samsung has made improvements to its low-light photography skills, and the Note 10 Plus is better but still lacks some bits to match the optics of say like the Huawei P30 Pro. The night mode comes to the front camera too, so say hello to nice selfies even in low light. Here is where we think Samsung may have a win with the Samsung Note 10 Plus. Now the bokeh comes to video mode too, and there is a complete video editing suite right inside the phone. Plus lots of add-ons for social media and people who create and post on social media and elsewhere. Like the zoom in mic feature where you zoom into the audio source of the sound so that the source gets recorded clearer. This is what the millennials want and Samsung has catered to them. The Note 10 Plus is not just a power user's device, but even for the creators, it is an ideal one. We had a lot of fun playing with the AR Doodle at work. Thank you Samsung for some light tech we needed. The Note 10 Plus is a super phone with 12GB of RAM and Exynos 9825. This is a lot of power to run this beast. There are 2 variants, 256GB and 512GB. We got the 256GB variant and didn't face any lag or jitter, so meltdown. This big Android is loaded with 4300 mAh of battery which lasted us only a day. The Note 10 Plus supports 45-watt fast charge, but in the box we get the 25-watt charger. In the box we also get pretty decent headphones. The Cell Guru verdict. Let us be honest here, if you own this phone you wouldn't be left wanting for anything more. 2 people have switched to the Note 10 Plus in our team for this review, and let's just say they don't want to switch back to any other phone. Please note, they have no reason to. The Note 10 Plus is currently the best Android available in the market. Have money spent on this.
Every time you come up with a new generation phone, a design must stand out. What is different about the Note 10?
So the first thing is that the Galaxy Note is for those people who keep shifting their ideas, who keep coming up with new things, who want to do their projects and they want to have something to really depend on, which is the Galaxy Note. And so we have designed the most powerful Note ever, the Galaxy Note 10. So I want you to say hi to the new.
All right, there it is, absolutely.
There it is.
Right.
And as you can see from here, the screen is really edge to edge. That's something which is, you can see almost no bezel. The camera is a very small pinhole which is very, very symmetrical, right out there.
Right in the center.
Right in the center, and you can see that. And it's an impossibly slim design.
Right.
It's been able to do that. And just look at the color. And
Right.
it's inspired by prismatic hues. It's called the Aura series.
Right.
So this is Aura Glow. It just takes on the hues of the environment. We've also got an Aura White and an Aura Black. And this is the biggest Note 10 note that we've ever made.
We've spoken about one legacy part, which has always been about design and the strength of the screen. But let's talk about the second legacy, where it continues to be one of the strongest offerings ever. Stylus, the magic wand, the S Pen. What's different this time?
Oh, the S Pen is been taken to a completely new level. As you know, that you can even write on the off screen. This time we've brought in colors on the off screen. We've also brought in another thing, which is when you write notes, you can straight away convert it to text and share that on Microsoft Word or PDF or image. We've also introduced some very interesting air actions with the S Pen. The air actions are when you take the S Pen and with a simple left and right movement or up and down or
So this truly is a
circular,
magic wand now, right?
Just,
you actually
just,
are
just very
conducting
natural.
actions in the
Yeah.
air. Huh?
Right. So you can change the from a front camera to a rear camera. You can move the mode of the camera. You can also zoom in and zoom out.
If a person was to say, I love all of these, but I need one more thing to get convinced, what else do you think this phone has that really, in every which way, is a game changer?
So the Note series is really famous for power and for performance.
Correct.
So the Note 10 has the industry-leading 7-nanometer processor. It's also got 12 GB RAM, and it's got up to 1.5 terabyte of storage. That's a real powerhouse. That's like cutting a desktop, you know, in terms of
A
what
little bit
power.
more than a
Yeah,
desktop,
it's more
maybe.
than a desktop. Exactly.
Okay.
And then for gamers, this is brilliant because it's got a game launcher, it's got a game booster, it's got AI built into it. So it really looks at your gaming style and then matches it accordingly.
What do you think is a premium flagship market in India? How does one define it?
I think the consumer clearly discerns what a true flagship is. There are no compromises. There is no double speak in that. There is what you see is what you get. And that's the beauty about the flagships that we've been introducing. They set the standard. And like I said, I mean, we brought in the large display. We have an endless cinematic experience on this display. It's dynamic AMOLED with HDR10+. It's got, in fact, the blue light filter so that your eyes are very comfortable even after a full day use.
Now let's move on to the other story, a very important, very critical story between Android, the operating system, and Apple's iOS, the operating system. The entire world is dominated by these two. Literally nothing else exists other than different kind of things for feature phones. But in smartphones, these two completely and totally dominate. Many have tried, many have failed. But should there be a third OS? I think it's a very, very important question now to ask, because once two companies dominate, it sometimes leads to big problems. At least it's not a monopoly where only one is dominating. But even two is a bit of a problem. So Huawei has been speaking about a third operating system for a long, long time. And with all the problems they had with the US and getting in between, stuck between China and the US, they finally went ahead and actually are now talking about launching HarmonyOS as the third front. I think it's very, very important. I think if there's any company that can actually pull it off, it's only going to be Huawei. They've got the innovation, they've got the tech chops, they've got the money chops behind them. They've got literally everything. But do remember, an operating system can be fantastic. It could be the best. It could make Apple's iOS and Android look completely and totally useless. But the most important thing for an operating system is that they should have all the apps, and all app developers must take to it. Right in the very beginning, when they open the inning for the third HarmonyOS, literally at least the top 1,000 apps should be already out there, and they should scale after that very, very, very fast. Within 2 or 3 months, they've got to be almost at the same level as the others. Now remember, they've taken years to get there. But Huawei and Harmony will not get that kind of luxury to get out there. The second part of it that becomes even more important is Will it only be Huawei phones, Huawei and Honor phones that will actually have it? Will Huawei and Honor carry on with Android and also have Harmony? Will other brands take to it because they don't want the domination of Google and Android? Lots of very interesting things come in, but the final analysis is there should be a third operating system. That is critical. We also spoke to Charles Peng, the president of Honor India, to find out about HarmonyOS. How do they plan to go about it? How do they feel? Will they be successful? And really, how is it that they're going to go about it to get the apps and everything else onto this operating system?
8th August, Huawei Developer Conference, we launched our new operating system official, that is HarmonyOS. So this HarmonyOS will support all app language, including Linux, Android, and HTML5. So this operating system is open source like Android, which means developer can take HarmonyOS and modify it for their hardware. Challenge is we just launched the operating system because for the consumer, step by step, we need more and more consumer to trust our operating system and more developers join our ecosystem. So, you know, Mr. Richard said this is not a TV, this is the TV's future. So I think our competitors is not the TV producers. So we just launched this product as a smart device to consumers. We launched, you know, 9X. We have a legacy of X series. We launched X series in India, 5X, 6X, 7X, and 8X. Both of these we did so well in Indian market. We launched the 9X in end of July in China. So I get a feedback from the China team is this product sell out is 2 times of the 8X. So which means if we launch this product in India, the sales will be very good, of course. I'm sure Indian consumer will like this product.
Let's take a quick break right now on the show. I've still got so much that I haven't even covered. Let's tick mark a few boxes. These are hygiene points now if your phone must really attract the audience. First, triple camera with the main camera being a 48 megapixel lens. Second one, the selfie camera in front should be about, minimum 32 megapixel. Then in-display fingerprint scanner, and the fourth one, it should be a tough and solid phone, Corning Gorilla Glass 5, and if it's 6, that's even better. Well, with this, the Mi A3, every one of this gets ticked. Can I do the fifth one? An absolutely shocking price. This one does that too. Now for our review of the Mi A3.
Xiaomi is back with its new Android One series. This is the Mi A3, with which Xiaomi seems to have amped up many features from its own predecessors and comes at an aggressive starting price of 12,999 rupees. But let's jump into the review of the Mi A3 and see if Xiaomi has brought its A game with the phone. Xiaomi is trying to be different from its competition right from the name of the colors it's given the Mi A3. We got the not just blue color variant, which seems pretty true to its name. The back of the phone reflects different light colors and has a dynamic look. On the front, there is a water drop notch that houses the front camera. The phone feels nice and light to hold and use. It is not too big and provides a good grip. One of the big stars on this phone is the display. It's a nice large 6.08-inch Super AMOLED display. The colors are great and the display quality is definitely of a premium category phone. Watching videos on the Mi A3 was nice and the color reproduction is very good. The phone is not delicate as it has Corning Gorilla Glass 5 protection not just on the front but also on the back, which we really liked. The in-display fingerprint scanner was fast and lag-free. Where Xiaomi really comes into its own is with the software. This is Xiaomi's Android One series and that's what the Mi A3 sports. We love the clean look and feel of this UI. The Mi A3 showcases its prowess with its optics. There is a triple camera setup on the rear with a 48-megapixel primary lens with a Sony IMX586 sensor, and there is a 8-megapixel ultra-wide lens and a 2-megapixel depth camera. The shots turned out very well and could probably give phones above 40k a run for their money in this department. The details on images were especially impressive, and the wide-angle lens gives about 118-degree field of view. The front camera does just about okay with a 32-megapixel shooter. The camera also supports an AI face unlock, which worked adequately well. We played games on this phone and even used multiple apps on it and performed very well. It is powered by Qualcomm's Snapdragon 665 chipset, which is a mid-range chipset part of Qualcomm's latest portfolio. Now for the juice the Mi A3 brings with it. It has a 4030 mAh battery with support for 18 watts fast charge, but unfortunately the box only comes with a 10-watt charger. But the phone does okay on battery and ran just about a day of heavy use. And now for Xiaomi's strong suit, its pricing game. 4GB RAM 64GB storage variant is priced at 12,999 rupees, and the 6GB RAM and 128GB storage variant is priced at 15,999 rupees. And so aggressively priced, Xiaomi is set to win hearts with the Mi A3. It does well on most fronts including design and optics, and is sure going to make competition sit up and take notice. At 12,999 rupees, Xiaomi is setting a new bar for this segment. And if this is your budget, look no further.
Now, of course, the one thing that we all love, deals, and on the show, deals of the week.
Samsung India has announced its Samsung Blue Fest on Samsung.com. As part of this, now you can buy the Samsung M34GB variant for 13,990 rupees. It was earlier priced at 16,490 rupees. Now you can get the JBL Flip for 7,019 rupees. It was originally priced at 9,999 rupees. This deal is available on Samsung.com. If you are looking to buy a power bank, there is a speed deal on the Mi 10,000 mAh power bank. You can now buy it off Amazon for 899 rupees. It was for about 1,200 rupees before discount.
That then is the Cell Guru Show for this week. Remember, next week the Moto is in action. We'll have that and a whole lot more. See you next week.